What is good, everybody? So, welcome to episode 3 of the Lines Podcast. It is me, Robert, from the Philly Sports Talk Podcast, and with my good buddy, Coach Dante in the building. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it, man. Hope we can finally get some baseball started, man. We ain't the winter meetings. It was cracking up to seem like it'll be a good winter meetings. Everybody wanted to see the Carlos Correas, where he's gonna go.
Because I would have thought he would take that, and that kind of talk about that. I thought he would have taken a 10-year 275 to the Detroit Tigers. It's like it's something I would like Carlos Correa to take.
Yeah. So can't wait.
But yeah, bro. No worries, Key. We'll hold it down for you.
We got it, Key. You'll do it.
Oh, wrong button. All right. So the first thing we got on the Team Elite. What's good? What's good? So my thing is, so the first topic I want to talk about is the pros and cons about Rob Manfred as the commissioner. Like, what are your pros and cons?
A baseball.
Mm-hmm.
That office. He don't cares about the game. He doesn't know nothing about the game of baseball, and this lockout is crazy. And we just want to see what guys are going to get signed up. We just want to see some damn baseball, for Christ's sake. And
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, you got guys that don't care about the game of baseball. You got guys knocking people that supposed to be in the Hall of Fame, but you got guys that just don't care. And
kind of to add to your point, I think it's if you want to be a commissioner, at least be like a former player or something like that. At least have the knowledge of the game, rather the thing about this too. For the longest time, I thought, and I can go back to the towards the 2000s when Bud Selig was still in office. The only thing I knocked on him was turning a blind eye to the steroid use. But other than that, man, he pretty much kept the same tradition for the last handful of years before the owners need.
Yep.
Sure. And not to mention too, I thought I think the fans should have the decision not to vote the owners in, or not the owners, but the commissioner, but not the owners, because I kind of feel like at times the owners are just too greedy for their own good.
Yeah, definitely, yes, indeed. I just again, what up, Coach?
Coach Spotlight in the chat.
What's up, man? Again, man, I just want to see some baseball, man.
I want
to see where these guys are going to end up, man. We got a lot of big.
Plus, we got the draft. Who knows who got the draft? Yeah, got the draft. There's some decent prospects that I've been in that draft class. I mean, to kind of name a few, you still got Drew Jones, the son of Hall of Fame, should be Hall of Famer Andrew Jones. Elijah Green's a good prospect, he's a good prospect. Another guy who's probably needs to get a chance is Kumar Rocker.
Okay.
And this kind of goes to, I'll talk about that later. But so my next thing is, because obviously me and Dante, and Money Baseball friends pretty much, throughout the United States, we do not like Rob Manfred whatsoever. No, and the reason is it's like we're changing way too much. It's just that we just got the pace of play, which is, yes, I kind of understand. I can get behind that because at times baseball can be a bit boring sometimes. Yep. It's just like there's some of the rules that I can get behind and I don't get behind. One in particular, and I'm going to kind of like beating a dead horse around this, is the runner on second, the extra innings rule, which annoys the living crap out of me. Because my reason. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows with this organization? But what I do give him credit for is going out and getting Corey Knebel to help get that bullpen started.
Yeah.
But going back to what I was about to say, the extra innings rule really, I just find that you're giving either the home or away team a cheap way to win.
Yeah.
When I think of the extra innings, you gotta grind that shit out. It's just like I don't like that.
You know what? Really I don't like. I don't know why they do the extra innings thing like that. I kind of don't like that method. Instead of making guys earn their way to get on or hit a home run, you put a guy on second base. That's potential. Unless that's potential of letting the game go longer. The game go longer.
That's what I'm saying. Because like I said, it's a cheap way for either the home or away team to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And it's like, even going back to last year, like when we implemented this temporary universal DH, and I've noticed too, like it's more competitive that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. There's some very few hitting pitchers nowadays. I mean, other than Baumgartner, Greinke, who else am I forgetting here? But I think those are the two I can think of at the top of my head.
Yeah, Greinke.
But I mean,
is a pretty good, decent hitter too. Lance McCullers was a pretty decent hitter too for the Astros.
Who?
He was Lance McCullers. He was an okay
really.
Hitter. He was an okay hitter for the Astros when he did bad. Well, I know Zach Greinke was probably out of the pitchers in the Astros rotation, he was the best hitter. He makes
it is, man. It's just
contact. He gets up there and make contact.
I mean, yeah, it's just like. And that's kind of also the thing too. Is like, I mean, we saw that beginning of the 2021 season. When we saw, as much as I hate the Mets with my guts, but the only guy that actually I have tremendous respect for is Jacob Degrom. But we saw, he had shoulder problems and back spasms. Like, and it gets you thinking. It's like, and I think the university needs to be implemented in the National League because, like, number one, it reduces injuries on pitchers because you got to focus on because that's their main. And I think this is why I think that we see the American League being competitive as it is, because the pitchers focus on one thing, is on pitching. Because you got to put any different hitter in the 9-hole, and it's just like it really does make a difference. So I think, like for example, if we do have it in the National League, take it from my Phillies too. Like if we're going to need JT a day off behind the plate, we can use him as a DH. Flip him and Hoskins, between the DH and the first base. I mean. We definitely need to take advantage of that.
I'm so glad the Astros moved to American League. I'm so glad the Astros moved to the American League.
I was confused about that move too. Not going to lie.
Yeah, because I thought at that time the American League was more stronger. Now they put the DHs in there. And I think they should do it for the National League too. You get, they're more competitive. And you take a lot of stress off that pitcher's arm and them have to swing the bat, them have to run the base pads, and they can pull a hamstring or something like that. You take a lot of
Charlie Morton, when during his time here in Philly, which I'm still pissed that we still let him go. I mean, that's very good points too. Like, and that's to mention too, like, and we see like some different divisions have been very competitive. Especially in the American League, especially the AL East has always been a competitive division in the American League.
Yeah.
Obviously it can come down to the other. I mean, the one team I know that if I'm going to have to go with predictions, I think the Rays are going to go back-to-back division title winners.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like for someone like the as advanced analytics as the Tampa Bay Rays, but for some reason, and they make it work for a tight budget, despite overpaying for their shortstop. Which is, like we said in the previous episode, it's a huge risk. It's just like but then again, I understand why they want to do it because you got to invest in the future. And we all knew that Wander Franco was going to be the future shortstop because who knows how longer Willie Donaldson is going to last with that team. But I mean, it is what it is, I mean, like we said, even when the trade deadline comes, nobody is safe from the trade deadline. Yeah, it is what it is, and that's another thing. Like my dark that kind of goes into the topic too. The Dark Horse World Series predictions. I know this is
okay.
This is going to be interesting
for the NL. You know who I'm gonna go with for the NL? And I'm a shot.
Shoot.
They had a late season run this year.
I think you're the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes, a dark horse. I was going
to go to St. Louis as well in the National League because, and what still annoys the crap out of me is because, like, after going on that way, then they fired their manager. Like, what sense does that even make? Like, what common sense in one's right mind would give their manager a pink slip after was it 17 straight, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
And that's the thing too. It's just like
all that talent they got on that team, Robert. What they got? Do they still got Matt Carpenter over there?
Yeah, Carpenter's still there. You still got Goldschmidt, who's
they got Goldschmidt, who's a pretty professional first baseman. Nolan Arenado is pretty good.
Still a great player in his own right.
Harrison Bader, Harrison
Tommy
Bader,
Edman too. Dylan Carlson.
Yeah,
you still got Hall of Famer Yadier
Molina.
Molina. Despite playing in his last season, it's like that's like Christ. I mean, we all know that one of the Molina brothers was going to get in the Hall is making the case for it, and that's Yachty. And that's the thing too. Like, if you look at Yachty in his prime in the early 2000s, like you cannot steal a bag off of Yachty in his prime because Yachty was always, and we all knew that Yachty was always a defensive first type of catcher, kind of like, oh God, is it Martin Maldonado a defensive first kind of catcher? If I'm not mistaken, because I cannot remember. Yeah, it's just like even like at times throughout the year. I mean, Yachty got a little bit good with the bat, which is surprising to most people. Like for a guy who pretty much averaged almost as surprisingly, the only base hits he can muster is a single or a home run. Like there's like no doubles in between. Like, but I mean, with that all aside, I mean, Yachty is obviously making his case for the Hall of Fame because it's like you played with guys like God. I mean, he played with the one guy I can remember is Dave. God, how do I remember? So this guy, David Eckstein, from 2006, and you still got Jason.
I love the David Eckstein, man.
I think David Freese is probably one of the better Cardinals in my honest opinion. I mean,
he also got a World Series with the Angels too. He got a World Series with the 2002 Angels, the one that beat the Barry Bonds.
What David Eckstein?
Yeah, David Eckstein.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played with the Angels.
I forgot. Because the only guy from the 2002 Angels was
Garrett Anderson.
Well, some of the players I wouldn't know. I mean, other than Houston Street, that was the only guy that I know from the Angels. The only pitcher like that. He was the only guy that I know from that team. But I think, and this kind of ties into the Angels too. I mean, granted, they've been aggressive. I mean, going after getting Syndergaard on the 1 year, $20 million. Who knows? I mean, fingers crossed for him to stay healthy. I mean, if he can, I think you got two aces back to back in that rotation. And then the fact you brought,
if Syndergaard is anything like his last self, Robert, they could be good, but you still need a little more.
You still need more
in that rotation. And
I mean, you get that bullpen too.
Without Mike Trout in their lineup, that batting lineup is not good. Besides Shohei Ohtani, you got Rendon, but he stays hurt a lot.
I mean, Jared Walsh has been a very solid player for them.
Yeah.
David Fletcher's I feel like he's kind of streaky at times. I mean, the fact that was it Artie Moreno still there? Because I know.
Yeah, I think,
and I'll give him some better credit. Give him some pitching, but the fact that you gotta go more. I mean, you still need to get the bottom half of your rotation. And also tinker that bullpen. But I think bringing back Raisel Iglesias to really start that bullpen is a very good step. I think, Raisel, who would have thought? I mean, at one time, I thought Raisel Iglesias, when he went to the Angels, kind of played under expectations. But boy, was I wrong. Despite a little bit of a slow start, but we're seeing what he's truly capable of. Bring it back on a 4-year deal. I just kind of feel like, I think the Angels are doing, and not just that pitching too. They got to start strengthening that lineup. I mean, first baseman is probably Jarrett Walsh because he's the one guy that kind of booted future Hall of Famer Albert Pujols out of LA. Well, I should say Anaheim actually, because it's like and that's kind of thing I guess me too. It's like, why not just call yourself the Anaheim Angels? Because you got two LA teams. You got the Dodgers and you got the Angels. Why not call yourself the Anaheim Angels? Because you're kind of based out of Anaheim, California. And it's just like, and it's crazy too. Now, even go towards the Dodgers, like, I should let Scherzer walk, which that kind of surprised me.
That's going to hurt their pitching staff. I think that's unfair.
Yeah, but I think I know Corey Seeger is probably not going to be as productive as he once was. Obviously, coming from that Tom and John, but I think you really got yourself an upgrade in Trey Turner, who's I could probably say he's a 5-tool player in his own right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Combination of speed and power. Trey Turner will definitely help out that batting lineup.
Oh, yeah.
But that pitching style. You still got Kershaw, and you still got
you got Walker Buehler.
Yeah, him. Yeah, but outside of that,
I mean,
who you got as a pitcher?
David Price. I mean, you're the guy you pretty much traded. He was also packaging that Mookie Betts trade as well. Okay. I mean, from Boston. I mean, despite the fact that he was pretty solid this year as well. I mean, I'm very give him that. I mean, it's just like some of these pitching staffs that I've seen. It's like some of them might have to go younger. I mean, and some should need to go into full blown rebuilds. I mean, obviously I'll give the Rangers credit though, man. You know, some of the moves that they made, just before the lockout, I'll give them a lot of credit though. But I think they still need a handful more pieces to be in very, last time they were actually in playoff relevancy was 2011. From what I remember, we still had who was on that team? Beltray. I know you had Elvis Andrews. Who else was on that team? Oh God, I can't remember who. I mean, I know Ron. Still ashamed that Ron Washington deserves a head coaching spot. I mean, the fact that you let it.
Yeah,
I mean, too. Like, we probably one of the greatest, coaches that I've seen. Think about it this way: the Braves infield wouldn't be as what they were in 2021 without Ron Washington. Yeah, and it's just like, and that kind of plays too. It's like, and I've been seeing like there's like 4 candidates like that's narrowed down for the Mets. Buck Showalter is one of them, and I forgot who the other 3 were.
I would love Buck Showalter to be the manager of that Mets team. I would love Buck Showalter to be a manager of that team.
And what's funny that I'm looking back at is that if that strike in 1994 didn't happen, he could have won a World Series ring with the Yankees. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I mean, I did give him credit though, man, taking the Orioles to the playoffs. When you said Adam Jones, Chris Davis, probably one of the disappointing players of that team at the time. Yep. I mean, you still had who else was on that team? Oh God. Oh my God, Delman Young. How the fuck do I still remember it? Oh my God, I remember Delman Young.
Manny Machado. Did you have Manny Machado?
Oh, that's right. Machado was with Baltimore at the time. I forgot. Yep.
Machado.
It's just like all of a sudden after their playoff spot, they just for some reason just spiraled out of control since then. It's like, which is crazy to believe though, man. I mean, I think in a couple years' time, I think my ultimate dark horse pick will be the Detroit Tigers, because there's a lot of bright future in Detroit. I mean, you got that pitching staff, guy. That's gonna be a good pitching staff for years to come. Casey Mize, Spencer Turnbull, Tarek Skubal. Who else is in part of that rotation? I think also you're going to have Javi Baez in that short, which plus two.
There's going to be a battle between them two and the White Sox for the division.
Oh, that's going to be very interesting to see.
That's going to be very interesting to see.
I think third place overall. I think you're going to give it. Oh God, it could be either. I'm going to give it to the Royals because I feel like they're a little bit slightly better than the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh no,
despite they got some good prospects in that organization. Brady Singer was, even at his time in Florida, was still a good pitcher to watch. We still got Bobby Wood Jr. Who knows that kid needs to get a chance at the big leagues at some point. I mean, there's some of the rookies that need to get a chance. Obviously, Bryson Stott for us. Bobby Witt for Kansas City. There's some Spencer Torkelson for Detroit, because I've been very high on Torkelson because of what he can bring to the table. But it's just like one of those things. It's like where it's like I think that both. I think the White Sox. I don't know, man. I think the White Sox can hope, because I think they can use another pitcher or two. I think they can be. I mean, they can be World Series contenders. But I don't know, man. It's just like
I mean, again, you have the pieces to get to the World Series. Like you have Dylan Cease, you have
Giolito, Kopech.
Giolito, Rondon when he's on it. You have all of these guys. You have Lynn, and you have the White Sox have most of the Cubs farm system on that team.
Eloy Jimenez.
Yep. Eloy Jimenez.
Luis Robert is a stud.
Yep.
Who else is?
Yeah, Grandal. Grandal is on that team.
He's still a good catcher.
Yeah, he's still a good catcher. Tim Anderson.
Abreu, who's still probably one of the consistent players that I've seen. Can give you a 30 plus 100 plus RBIs a year.
Yep.
It's
Tim
just
Anderson
like
is still good. Tim Anderson
still under. I feel it's still underappreciated.
Yeah,
for a player of his caliber. Who's their third baseman now? Oh God, I can't remember who's the third base.
The third baseman is Yohan Moncada. I
think Moncada's got a. I think people kind of. I feel like people a lot of doubt him. Moncada, because it's like he was not going to last long with the Chicago White Sox. But I mean, we saw what this kid is capable of. Yeah. I mean, the outfield looks great. I mean, you got it. If you can get like a few bullpen pieces. I mean, Garrett Crochet. I think the White Sox really hit a jackpot on Garrett Crochet from Tennessee.
Yeah,
the lefty, left-hander throwing triple digits on the short arm. It's like, I think you just got to make that kid your closer because I think he's going to really not right now, but I think when in the near time because I think he's got closers kind of stuff. Just got to. The only issue that I have with him is his accuracy because you ever seen him with closers nowadays who can throw triple digits but having a hard time with accuracy. But I think the only one guy I think has very consistent with is Ryan Presley. And I think even from his time in Minnesota, I think Ryan Presley's always been an underrated reliever in my honest opinion.
No, I mean he's turning into the best reliable reliever, man, for us, man. I think our bullpen as a whole and got stronger. Now we lost. We had a big loss in Kendall Graveman. I think he went to the White Sox.
He went to the White Sox on a 3-year deal, and then but you added Hector Neris. Good luck using him. If he winds up turning better than we would have thought in his hair time in Philly, then it's going to come right and bite us in the ass. I'll admit that.
And I hope it do because I want to see our reaction.
But I think who's your guys' closer?
Presley. Presley is the closer, legit closer. He's our closer, and we fought Phil Naton has pitched well too. Phil
Naton's been very solid though. I mean,
and we got Jimmy Garcia.
Oh from the Marlins. Jimmy gave us. I'll be honest, man. Jimmy gave us fucking fits when he was with the Marlins here in the NL East. For some reason, and I'll admit this too. Like Jimmy's one of those relievers that we had a hard time figuring out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just like the Marlins just that one team we cannot, for some reason, cannot beat. And all these things too, it's like the fact, and I think and this kind of applies to the Marlins too. Yeah, see what you want, how bad they're, how they finished, but look at the talent that they have in that four system. Sixto Sanchez, oh God forbid, but I mean, But then again, we all knew that he was going to have arm issues at some point. I think he's going to be the fact they still extended Sandy Alcantara, which is honestly probably still an underrated pitcher for the Marlins. I mean, they got a good GM in Kim Yang. Yeah, that she's doing. Who knows, man? This team can one day win the division. Who knows? This team has a bright future. But right now, I think at best, I'll give them a wild card. I mean, I really can't hate on the Marlins though.
I had a question to ask you, but I'm gonna let you keep going. I had a question to ask you. So what do you think it is holding this Phillies team back? Is it the development of players? Is it the pitching staff? Is it the willing of the general manager spending money? I mean, what is holding this Phillies team back?
You can go one of many different ways. I mean, the pitching staff, depending where you look at it. I mean, God forbid if Caleb Cotham can figure out the kinks in Nola, I think he can bring him. Let's just say if Caleb Cotham can bring Nola back to his 2018 self going into 2022, then I might eat my words because I've been I was very disappointed from Nola for the last couple of years. Wheeler, on the other hand, just for someone, man, just an absolute workhorse. The fact that we signed him for a 5-year, 118 million, and I know some Mets content creators and a lot of Mets fans are still pissed that let him walk. But I mean, I think it's probably the better pitchers that we've gotten since God, there's a few one I can remember. So trading for Roy Halladay was probably our biggest one. And then we also got, Cliff Lee. Those are the two biggest ones we had. But I mean, the fact that he finished second in the Cy Young voting, which is absolute bullshit, because I don't think ERA should count as much, because you got to take into account, innings pitched. Like, Corbin Burns is a relief pitcher. I mean, I'll give credit where credit is due for a reliever. Corbin Burns Burns is more of an opener than I would have. That's right. That's right. I forgot he was an opener for the Brewers. I mean, look, I think whoever run for the Cy Young always had good seasons, but I think statistically, I think Wheeler had the better season out of all of them, and I think it would have come down. I mean, if Degrom didn't get hurt, I think it will come down to Burns, Degrom, and Wheeler for the top three. Those would have been that would have been an interesting conversation to have, between those three for the Cy Young. MVP for both the AL and NL. It was self-explanatory. I mean, we all knew Ohtani was going to get the MVP for the American League. Same with Harper in the National League. I mean, what those two have done, I mean, it's impressive to see. But then again, who knows? And I think this too. I'm really hoping Hoskins has, and this kind of applies to Hoskins as well. If we didn't lose him at the end of the year, we would have had a playoff spot. We would have been talking about the collapse.
Yeah.
And it's just at one point, it's because the thing about when I found about Hoskins, is from the Australia Baseball League. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? Then I heard he got drafted by the Phillies. I didn't really ring a bell to me. But I feel like out of the draft picks, that included with Dylan Cousins, who surprisingly was a complete bust. I think Hoskins actually has proved himself to be a worthy first baseman. Not going to be like a Freddie Freeman type, but he's still serviceable to some extent when he's healthy. And that's the thing too. Another thing that holds us back is health. And there's some players when they go down to injury, it shows the impact that Hoskins, for example, he was getting hot at the right time at the end of the year. Lose him to a core injury, we just collapsed. We just shit the bed basically. It's just, I'll admit it. We did hit the bed towards the end of the year, but
who did y'all play at the end of the year though? Who did y'all?
I think we played the Braves at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Y'all played the who?
I think we played the Braves at the end of the year. I might have to recheck the schedule.
Yeah, who's y'all last couple of series, 3 series that y'all played?
I know. I might have to recheck the schedule because I can't not remember. Because the only reason why I tend to forget is because I know you're going to be busting my chops about this. Is the fucking Diamondback series is what is what I just forget. I want to forget about it. But yeah, both Arizona and Baltimore is what really pissed me off. It was really.
Was that at the beginning of the season or middle? When y'all
I think that was probably. Not the God. I think that might have been the middle before a little bit after the All-Star break. That's for the love of God, you're playing a team that could lose 100. Surprising that both the Diamondbacks and the Orioles both lost 110 games in the 162 game season. That's yikes. And I think
y'all, you mean to tell me y'all got swept by the Diamondbacks? And we
lost 2 and I remember too we lost 2 or 3 from the Baltimore Orioles. I remember that clearly.
Well, we got swept by the Baltimore Orioles. We got swept by the Orioles.
I do give the Baltimore Orioles credit for being scrappy. I'll give them that. It's just these are bad teams. The only one I feel
we swept them in their home series. They came and swept us in our home series. A 4-game series, though, they swept us, though. They swept us in a 4-game series.
That's insane.
Yeah,
but
he said that's insane.
Obviously, with the draft coming up, so we all knew that Kumar Mark, obviously the mention of Kumar Rocker. If you guys have not heard about the news, and I know this is kind of old news, that they failed to reach an agreement because Kumar had some arm issues. So what that kind of understands, like he's still eligible to be in the 2022 MLB draft. So, what do you think? We all know that I think the Orioles and the how was it? And the Diamondbacks are 1 and 2 in the draft.
Yeah.
So where do you think Kumar Walker? So what are your thoughts on Kumar Rocker getting redrafted in 2020 in the 2022 draft? Do you think any team can take him? Because I kind of feel like that kind of goes into the next topic as well.
Yeah, I think any team can take him, but the ones that's at that 1 and 2 spot, the Baltimore Orioles, and you said who? The Diamondbacks?
Yeah, the Orioles and the Diamondbacks are the 1 and 2 spot.
I think the Orioles probably will take him. I think the Orioles will kind of take him a little bit. I think they can use a young pitcher, but anybody can take this. Anybody can kind of take him with him getting redrafted.
Hey, that's got things to take into consideration too, like how far he fell.
Yeah,
in year's draft because of that. Because we all knew, and I made a bet about this too. Like where both Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker would place in the draft. I had Kumar Rocker being 2 and Jack Leiter 1. Mm-hmm. I was wrong. Who the hell I'll be honest. Who the hell takes a catcher with the number 1 overall pick? But then again, no one had was it the Pirates that had that first pick last? No, that's right. Yeah, Pittsburgh was the worst team last year, which makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I kind of understand where they're going, but I kind of feel like they just need an overhaul because that team was just so bad. Because think about it this way, like 2013, you had like McCutchen who was in his MVP season. You still had Russell Martin, who was still probably a decent catcher of that time. I mean, just all of a sudden, just flip flop. Like it's just like some of these teams that you want to expect, being bad teams. But if you look at in years past, they were in the playoffs. Texas in 2011, you had Baltimore. Was it 2013 or so? 20 because he had same with Pittsburgh too. But then that's right. Pittsburgh was a wild card team in 2013. Holy shit! How did I remember that? I remember they played against the Cincinnati Reds when Johnny Cueto was there at PNC Park. Honestly, man, that's good. I don't believe so. I think we're still going to keep Gene Segura as our second baseman. I think Stott's prime is going to be our shortstop coming into 2022. So, as much as I like Brian Rogers, but this might be a high asking price. And that kind of goes into this one. Obviously my feeling is we had this the 17th overall pick in the first round. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, can get Kumar Rocker because I watched a lot of Vanderbilt games when they actually televised it. Mm-hmm. Because him and Jack Leiter were just absolute disgusting. I mean, even 2019 where he had that in the super regional 19 strikeout no hitters. Like, okay, it's just like this dude's got the stuff, but until I found out that he had arm issues, like yikes. And I mean, I'll give him that, but I mean, I think we could use something. I think he'd be a good serviceable pitcher for years to come. I think
he would. I think he would as well. Anytime I don't care what it is. Anytime you strike out 19 batters, that is
especially at the college level too.
And the college level too, yeah. When people are trying, them going to be some of the draft prospects too, man. It's not easy to strike out 19 people like that, man.
And plus, you got some of these top high schoolers that I've seen. Elijah Green, Drew Jones. It's just like, man.
Yep.
I mean, we took a chance on Mick Abel, and man, he's been pretty solid in the minor leagues. I mean, like we said, I mean, Andrew Painter. I hope
he don't turn out to be like goddamn Mark Appel last. Mark Appel fucking dog. He's fucking.
But he's been. And what's funny is Mark Appel was actually solid in AAA.
Yeah.
On his comeback. Which is crazy. Which is crazy to understand. It's like I don't know though. Like the fact that you retired so young and just kind of completely forgot about it and then start making the comeback.
Mm-hmm.
That's just insane. I don't know. That kind of ties into my next one. Kumar Marker to the Phillies in the 2022 draft. I feel like that's kind of unlikely, but I mean, only guy can dream. Because this is what we really need is start looking at some, especially college pitching too. I mean, the fact that we took who's that one guy from Arkansas? Oh, Casey Martin. I think he was a solid pick too when the Phillies got him. It's just like there's a lot of players that for us, man, we just got to focus on pitching and defense.
And y'all have a great if y'all at least have a decent pitching staff, y'all will be fine. Y'all will be fine. I believe y'all got a nice hitting lineup. The Phillies got a nice hitting lineup.
Yeah, the problem is though, like we don't have it. And probably that too, man. We need an outfield for shit. I mean, we need a center and a left fielder. That's the problem. Plus, we also need a better shortstop, which is probably going to be Stott. And we need to start working on the bullpen and maybe add another pitcher to the starting rotation. Because, you got Wheeler, Nola. You got Kyle Gibson, who's been very solid. But then again, kind of fell off towards the end of the year.
Killer. Kyle Gibson is an Astros killer.
And the fact that we picked up Corey Knebel, too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, too. I said that when I made a video about that, like which players I want. Corey Knebel was one of the first guys I say I would take him on the vet 1 year vet mid.
Yep.
Then the news come out and they sent him for 1 year. Just like, well, thank you, baseball gods.
Hey, that's the only move y'all made, huh?
Then we also signed infielder Johan Camargo, which is
It's kind of iffy to you, huh? Kind of iffy a little bit.
But I think could be very serviceable.
Okay.
And maybe it's not maybe the baddest thing in the world, but I think we could use more bench pieces. We could think about it this way: we got stuff with Brad Miller, Matt Joyce, who's 37 years old. Like, I remember
Matt Joyce with the Rays, with the Tampa Bay Rays. He was good with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Joyce. And it's just like, I don't know though, man. It's just like we just need to work on pitching in our outfield. That's kind of how I see with this team, because it's like, and we've been frustrated for far too long. It's getting ridiculous to the point where like, I was like, good Lord, it's like, do we really like? Is this all we're going to muster? But then again, it's just not us. Like I've seen like other teams like the one guy I want to try to go after. I don't know if Kyle Freeland's still under contract with the Colorado Rockies. That I don't know about. Because I think he's still a good pitcher to have. Despite, was it 2018? That's right, 2018. He finished fourth in Cy Young because Nola was third at the third.
Yeah.
Because I was.
See, I'm real interested to see who if Carlos. I think I know Carlos Correa is going to leave. So I'm trying to be interested to see who's going to be our shortstop this year. I kind of want to be interested, but like I say again, that goes back because we got a great farm system too. Astros got a great farm system,
and you guys know how to develop players too, and we've seen that firsthand.
Yeah, they know how to develop guys too. So I got faith in that organization that they're gonna bring the right person at shortstop, and then Astros got a deep farm system. That's a team that you can play with. And then you will get a great prospect, a pretty decent prospect out of it.
Because and again, maybe he may not. I kind of do feel like maybe the Astros can find a way to give him that big payday.
Yeah,
maybe. I think because it's hard. It's tough for guys, Carlos Correa's caliber to leave. But then again, I kind of understand why try to get away from that. But then again, I don't think it's going to hurt you in the long run because you guys know how to develop players left and right.
That's what I'm saying.
Kyle Tucker was pretty much a scrappy player in his own right.
Alvarez came up. Remember, Alex Bregman came up. Altuve. All of those guys came up from AAA, man, and they Astros develop all those guys, and that goes from drafting well too. You got to be able to draft well too. That's how important the draft is. You cannot miss on no draft picks.
No, I mean, you guys hit on God. I mean, like you said, I think Alex Bregman and Correa were probably your biggest two hits. I might be wrong because I know you guys have a lot better hits than I would. Because that's something I only remember because where did shit what's I don't think did Craig even play college ball? Because I don't think he did.
Nuh-uh.
No, because
I never he played. He ain't never played college ball. I never seen him in college. But you right. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Carlos Correa and Berkman was the two greatest. It was the two goodest hits as well. And because I remember Altuve came from Venezuela. I think he came from Venezuela.
Yeah, Venezuela.
Yeah, and Duriel, he was an old prospect that came up. He was very good.
The fact that he's still considered a rookie at 31, which is
Was it? And George Springer, don't forget the Astros hit on.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot George Springer was also pretty good for you guys too.
Yeah,
and I still remember times it's like you guys, and even back then, before you had, I mean, Altuve was still there before Berkman, and because he played with the likes of. If I'm not mistaken, I remember Hunter Pence was there. Who else was there?
Carlos Lee, all of them guys.
Oh my God, Carlos Lee! Oh my God, I forgot about him. Yeah. Oh, how about Lance Berkman? I forgot. Yep. I know he played for you guys. Was it like 2 seasons? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for a couple of Lance Berkman played for the Astros for a while though.
Really? Because I'm thinking he only played for 2 seasons, spent the rest with the Cardinals.
Lance Berkman was back then with Jeff Bagwell.
Oh God.
And he was a great hitter, great switch hitter, great everything. He was a great hitter, man. Great power hitter. And
obviously now was he coaching high school or college ball somewhere? Oh, it had to be. It must be a high school ball somewhere in Texas. Yep. I mean, I'll give your Astros trick. I mean, look, I did like the Astros back then because obviously Talus Hill, was kind of like the oddity of Minute Maid. Was it Minute Maid Park still back then? Oh God. Yeah, okay. The fact that you still had Talus Hill in center field, like you had to run up the hills, I was like, that's unusual. And not to mention too, it's like, despite the fact that many bad seasons you guys had, only three out of those bad seasons, we had 3 straight years of losing over 100 games. It's like, yikes.
Man, we just sucked those down 3 years, man.
But then, since firing Bo Porter along the way, hired AJ Hinch. Pretty much the rest is history. Yeah. And it's just like that too. And the fact that, say what you want about Altuve, though. He does prove like size sometimes does not matter in baseball. We kind of said this before too. Was he like 5'6", not even 5'6"?
He's 5'6". He's 5'6". He's short. But he's got a lot of power.
He's got a lot of pop for it.
And popping that bat, man. But that shows, like I say, man. The draft helps. You just gotta scout the right players, and And your scouting team gotta be real good, man. That scouting team gotta be real good.
And we did, and that's another thing too. I kind of give a lot of positive to Dombrowski. We did change up our scouting and our player development departments. Because the people who actually held that position before, like they were all like Matt Klentak's guys, so we kind of got rid of them, and actually brought in people who actually who knows how to do scouting and player development. Then it's just like, I pray to God because they kind of, it's just tough though, man. It's just like, now that kind of goes into the next topic. Who are your sleeper teams going into 2022? Because there's going to be a lot.
Teams? Okay. I got the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's gonna be a very good one because I know they're always competitive in that central. Well, I think that central division is a little bit weak.
Yep. Yeah, the central division is not really even good.
The only team other than I think the only 2 teams that can be very competitive is them and the Brewers.
Yeah, the Brewers. The reason why I say the Brewers are a sleeper team is because that team is gonna win the division. So I'm basically giving you giving the surprise team. When you say sleeper team, you say surprise. That means surprise team.
Team.
Yeah. The Brewers definitely going to win that division. They're the best team in that division. From the NL East, I'm going to go with the New York Mets. Look good, but I don't trust them. If the Phillies can get some pitching, I got them as a sleeper team.
That's and plus too. We need some bench pieces too. That's kind of what we lacked last year too. I think my biggest sleeper team is probably the Detroit Tigers.
Okay.
That's my sleeper
I love
team.
that. I'm not mad at that pick. I'm not mad at it.
Because, like, think about it this way, man. I mean, obviously, shortstop was kind of weak for them. Willie Castro kind of really fell off.
Yep.
Now having Javier Baez, but the problem is, and like I said before, the only thing I have on Baez is the discipline.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you guys have not seen, like, if you throw like a breaking ball in the dirt, he'll still swing at it. It's just like, like, are you just like, oh, for the love of. And I mean, look, I love Baez too, man. The guy knows how to is a good player in his own right.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that you have a really potential dangerous pitching staff in Casey Mize, Spencer Turnbull, who threw a no-hitter against the Mariners, and look, and the Mariners is my other sleeper team too. Despite not winning the division, I think that team's got a very good chance to win or get back to the playoffs.
I got another sleeper team in the NL West, and I know this team been a big disappointment. I got the San Diego Padres. I think they can be a sleeper team as well.
You know now having Bob Melvin now leading that team is actually has coaching experience.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
They got to find a way to put the pieces together, man. They're really too good not to be doing anything, man.
Because that's some good. The fact that I'll have to admit this, like they finessed the Chicago Whites. Sorry, White Sox fans, we had to bring that up. How the fuck do you blow that? Trade James Shields James Shields in exchange for Fernando Tatis Jr. Like, Lord, I know it's just like yikes. Because when I saw this, like at the time, you know, I mean, James Shields was okay at the time. We didn't know how well Fernando Tatis was going to turn out. I mean, we saw that in 2020 and 2021. In those 2 years, like season. Well, technically, despite 2020 was the short sample size, I think. For God forbid, I mean, he's got to fix that. His defense is absolutely atrocious. He needs to fix that. And look, I'm not saying that. I mean, that's the only knock I have on Tatis. Is his defense. It's like, and it's just like I think if we do have the DH, if he can't fix it, I think he's going to be a great DH if that comes to the National League.
Yeah,
and like I mean, I feel like Cronin was probably a better player than Tatis. I mean.
Yeah.
Really hate. I mean, all around, yes. I mean, offensively, I mean, I feel like they're kind of almost up there, almost similar. I think Cronenworth can give you a lot more than what Tatis can.
I love that dude. Cronenworth. He can spray the ball. Cronenworth, he can spray it, man. He can hit.
Now not to mention that they have Victor Caratini. Now they have Jorge Alfaro with the Padres, and. That's a really talented team, but the fact is that they collapsed so badly last season. It's like, where'd they go from there? I mean, I already knew that Chase Taylor was going to get fired anyways. Because like, why take a chance on someone with no coaching experience? Like, and I mean, I'm kind of speaking from our experience. We kind of, we all know how that went. The fact that, the fact that Calvert goes to San Francisco, wins 107 games, and gets manager of the year, it's like, what the like, I begin to realize like maybe it's the fucking front office's problem. I was like, God damn.
And
I mean,
a sleeper team that I got for the AL West. I like Seattle, just like you. I think A's. I think Oakland.
Oh, I forgot. I mean, the A's are well.
They may take a little bit of a dip because you lost. Did they lose Chapman?
I don't think so.
Chapman? You don't think they're going to lose Olsen? One of those.
Yeah, I know they're going to lose Olsen.
They lost Marte. I believe.
I think they still got Josh Harrison. They lost Young Gomes.
Yep. They lost.
And that kind of goes apart. It's like, where do you think Wilson Chris is going to go? Because obviously, when the Cubs bring in Young Gomes, it's like, I was like, man, where's? Then again, I mean, who needs a catcher nowadays? It's like, I can't think of a team that.
I know we need a goddamn catcher. Shit, we need a hitting catcher. We need a goddamn.
catcher. I think the best place I could think of Contreras is probably going to Houston, because you got to think too. I mean, Contreras. I have to say, I think Contreras might be an upgrade over Martin Maldonado.
Yep. The only thing about Maldonado is he's the best throwing catcher, man.
That's true. That's very true.
That dude defense is very, very.
I mean, if you can also get Contreras, well, you got two great throwing catchers too. I mean, Contreras has still got an arm.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras.
And that's another thing too. Or he could probably go to Atlanta because Trey Turner can Travis Darno cannot throw a runner out to save his life.
He said Travis Darno cannot throw a runner out.
But he could hit, he could field, but the problem is he can't throw a runner out. So it's like, yeah, I mean, and it's just like, man, I would. But then again, obviously a former prospect of ours in 2009, we blew it on it, and we pretty much know how that went. I think Oakland's a very good choice. I know they're going to take a dip. Tony Kemp, I feel like it's going to be very good for them.
Yeah, Tony Kemp, he came from the Astros farm system.
Very good platoon guy, which is very surprising to say.
And that Seattle is gonna still be they're gonna still be straight. But the one thing I love about Seattle, and I hate the Astros gave up, and this guy was hot. This guy was hot in Seattle. Abraham Toro is pretty good, man.
That's right. He was huge. I think
man.
You also got Kyle Seeger, which I think you should at least keep. I think Seattle should need to keep him. But then again, I don't know who, because Seeger pretty much set career highs of his own too. Like, the fact that he's never hit 30. Was it 33? Did he finish with the year? If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And look, the pitching staff, their starting rotation was actually pretty solid. Marco Gonzalez was pretty solid. The fact that they also traded for, Jared Kelenic is going to be very good when he has his more major league time, because
I'm the one that used to strike out a lot. Jared Kelenic, I remember.
And the guy that the Mariners traded, who did they give up? Because I know they got him, Justin Dunn, and I feel like a couple others for who did the Mets trade? Oh, that was right. That was the part of the Robinson Cano trade. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. I think Mariners might have won it because Robinson, come on now. Where's people should know that the common sense, you're going to get cracked for a PEDs, no matter what it is. And Edwin, at times, that it remains to be seen, because he's very at times can be very inconsistent.
Yeah.
He's got good stuff, but he has a hard time. The fact that, and I'm like this too, giving up a home run to Harper, but he points up, it's like, dude, that's way over the fence. It's that's not even a pop up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I think about a potential sleeper team. Hang on, how do you say? That's gonna be I'm going to give it to the Royals.
The Royals? You like the Royals? To be honest, the Royals were a competitive team last year.
The fact
like their record, they were a competitive team. They were a good contact hitting team last year.
God, who would have thought Salvador Perez would almost hit 50 home runs as a kid?
That dude, man.
Dude, what the fuck?
If that Salvador Perez, man, I'm telling you, damn, man, just think about that.
Yeah. It's just I don't know, man. It's just I remember Salvador Perez cannot even crack a little bit over 20 home runs a year. If I'm not mistaken, too. The fact that he hit 46, it's
he was almost
given no timer going at. It's who's going to get the home runs?
He was a solid catcher still.
Which is very surprising, because he played with a lot of guys like Eric Hosmer, Johnny Cueto,
Lorenzo Cain, and all of those guys.
Alex Gordon, I feel still an underrated outfielder. Then you have Edison Volquez was pretty decent with them in 2015 during the World Series run. It's just now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like he's the only one that's left from that World Series team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
God, it's crazy how much things can change in the last 5 or 6 years. And I just feel the future is bright in Kansas City. You got Bobby Wood Jr. You got to give him a call out, because we've seen the power that kid can possess. Despite, it's just I don't know that, man. It's just never seen. I think, obviously with the draft, I think another prospect that I'm very high on is Dylan Lesko. And I know he's a high scorer, but seeing this kid can throw triple digits, I was like, who would have thought of seeing a high scorer throwing triple digits? It's yikes. But I think he's another prospect I'm very high on.
Man, that dude can throw triple digits in high school.
I think last time because I remember I've watched some of his highlights from the perfect game at Petco. He sometimes can top out between. Sometimes he'll hit on a triple digits on a good day, but most times he'll top out between 97 to 99 on this fastball. I was like, good lord! I was like, man.
Oh my goodness!
I think it. Now, I mean, obviously, we're going to get towards the end. Most improved players in the major leagues.
So I'm going to go with most improved players of the major leagues. Most improved player. I like this guy. I'm gonna go. Jake Cronenworth.
Yeah, I think he's kind of turned it around despite this. For me,
go with Abraham Toro.
I think Abraham Toro is a good choice. I think. Let's see. I think Cesar. I want to go to Cedar Hernandez on this one.
Yeah,
because the fact that this guy, who, for those who don't remember, he's not a typical home run hitter by any stretch of the means. He'll hit like between 10 to 16 a year. The fact that he set a career high with 21, and the fact that he won a Gold Glove too in Cleveland I was like, good. I was like, how the hell did we? I was just like, it's like sometimes being a Phillies fan
that played in Cleveland and got traded to the White Sox, right?
Yeah, he's with the Well, he got traded to the White Sox, then get traded to signs with the Nationals.
Okay.
And it's just like, and then from what I've also saw too, Michael Franco. Oh God, he's under a minor league contract with the Nationals. Oh my God.
So y'all just letting people go, huh?
Well, we all knew we were going to let him go, but the fact that we let Cesar walk was I feel like it was his huge mistake. But then again, getting someone like Gene Segura, who's been kind of very consistent. Then again, it kind of really didn't hurt us as much because I feel like at times Cesar was a little bit inconsistent at times with us. The fact that we upgraded, swapped him with Gene Segura. I would still keep him. Either ways, man. The guy's consistent 300 hitters, and the fact that he actually hit a little bit more power.
Mm-hmm.
I think another guy I would like to see most improved is probably Carlos Rodon.
Carlos Rodon. Yeah, I know he's inconsistent though. He turns it on when he want to turn it on.
Yeah, that's very true. Despite being inconsistent, but he has improved, tremendously. I think another guy you could probably make an argument is Lucas Giolito. He's another guy that I think.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot there's a lot of names that you can really think of because, like you said, like Abraham Toro. I mean, oh right, that's right. I forgot JP Crawford. That's another guy we gave up on.
Astros killer. JP Crawford.
God damn it, that's still. But then again, it's like he was really. Like people don't realize like being a Phillies fan sometimes can be a blessing and it's a curse. Majority of it is a curse because we gave up on Cesar, we gave up on JP Crawford, and we're seeing with their productions. It's like, what the hell, man? I mean,
it so sucks to be a Philadelphia fan. Everybody that y'all throw away, they be successful.
Yeah, but then again, I think the one that I think didn't succeed was Franco. I feel like that's the one that kind of didn't hurt us as much. But then again, and that's kind of also ties it back to the JT Realmuto news that he wanted out of Miami. Like, I'm trying to think, who was the teams in the running for him? I know the Nationals were one of them.
Yeah,
can't remember who else.
Did the Phillies get him?
Yeah, like under the radar. Like obviously we gave up 6 to Sanchez,
I think the Mets was into it for Realmuto as well.
Yeah, even again too, like they're for agency. But I think we got. Well, it sucks to be the Mets too, isn't it? I mean, it's like they got stuck with James McCann. But I mean, who knows, man? I really hope this lockout is freaking over because this is really annoying to limit the crap out of me.
Yep, I'm ready for some damn baseball.
Honestly, man, it's just like we're getting close to spring training. I mean, well, obviously it's still December, but spring training is right around the corner in February. Like they got to get something. They got to get this shit sorted out. I don't know, man, but obviously we're kind of hit over a little bit of the 1 hour mark. Got any final thoughts, Dante?
Final thoughts, man. We need to see some goddamn baseball, man. It's always good to be doing a show with you and doing a show, doing baseball.
Oh,
We just got. I'm hoping we can get baseball on the way, man. And man, I just want to see where all these big free agents end up at. And we want to see some spring training baseball because we almost here, man. The season starts
and we
March.
got some of these big
March.
free agent names still have
Yep.
not signed because of the
Yes.
lockout.
That's
But
what
yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
we'll go over more in depth than that probably next week when we have Kian.
Okay.
But right now I know we're a little bit short on time. But if
All
you
right.
guys are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button here on the Spotlight Sports Network so you guys will not miss any of that other content we upload, or actually
Mhm.
probably key. Plus, even subscribe to my channel as well, and Coach Dante as well. Check him out as well for if you're also in the all in Houston sports, like the Astros, the Texans, you name it. Coach Dante is your guy to have for Houston.
Yep.
Same with Philly sports. Come to me. I mean, we're already on the road to 230. We all of that. With that being said, this is Robert and Dante from the Spotlight Sports Network and the Between the Lines podcast. We are out.